We have a repair attempt at 4128 Foxwood Circle in Easton, PA. This with the line is a creased shingle. This is the one we're gonna pull out. I need to loosen the two shingles that are above, pull the nails out, remove the shingle, new shingle goes in, and we re-nail. Before we start, there's just a couple things I wanted to highlight on this roof, and some of it is there's a bunch of mat transfer already on here. This is connected, but you can see big old chunks here, and it's pretty much every little spot that I marked, and we'll go over there in a second. But there's mat transfer all along these. These are very brittle and they're popping up all over the place. Here's one where there's a start. You could see it didn't crack yet, but there's actually a hole in the shingle. Let me see if I can get a better view. Yeah, you can see right in there, there's actually a hole where the matting has popped up and this shingle piece has lifted up. So there's actually a hole in this shingle that goes underneath. And then here's like a whole slew and strip of them where they're loose and they have big old mat transfer pieces coming off. Same thing here. And again, these are just the corners that are lifted up, but they all have something going on with the shingle. And I'm gonna hand you to my colleague. He's gonna stand and record. Again, here's the one that's already loose and creased. So now that we're all done, shingle is back in. There is a little cracking and creasing. You can see some of the tools that had moved. This is all broken in here. Here's a real big spot that's missing. This is a real big crack and crease, and you can see if I move my fingers underneath, this is completely cracked and broken here. That will stay down and this moves. Same thing here. Here's the start of the crease. Runs all the way across. That one's pretty bad there. That's actually broken over here and there's matting visible. Same thing up here, creased. Here's one here way up top. That's from us putting the nails back in too. And again, I had to lift that up like that to get those nails driven in, and you can see even right here, that's where they start to break at the top. There's your old mat transfer. Here's your mat transfer from the other ones. And then we'll seal all this hand seal wise, but you can see under here, this is the really bad spot where it had mat transfer. That's the broken one that came out. It started here, and then the rest of it peeled up here, and then you can see on the other piece, there's a big old chunk.
It's throughout here.
It's all over the roof.
Yeah.
There they are right there. So there's the start, just like the corners of everything else. And then here's this big chunk piece of matting. And again, before we disturbed anything, you could see it on all those pieces that we marked out. It's even worse on the front slope. So that's why we did the repair on the back, is to try and have this be less visible and less of an eyesore here. But you could see them all over that they have mat transfer on them. And again, they're very brittle to work with, so everything in turn got creased. With repairs, as far as that, I would then have to fix these two that are above it, and exponentially the number is going to grow above that because of how brittle they are.